All right, today we're diving into something called luteolin. It's a natural compound found in some pretty common vegetables that's suddenly at the center of some incredibly promising and honestly pretty surprising medical research. Let's get right into it. I mean, think about that for a second. Could something hiding in your salad bowl, literally in your food, actually change how we approach some of our most serious diseases? Well, it's a wild thought, but that is exactly what scientists are looking into right now, especially when it comes to cancer.
So what is this stuff? Luteolin is a type of flavonoid. It's a natural compound that you'll find in plants like radicchio, artichokes, and peppers. And for a long time, we've known it's a pretty good anti-inflammatory, but new research is suggesting it might be able to do a whole lot more.
And that leads us straight to our first major focus, a really remarkable pilot study that came out of Japan. This study has put luteolin right in the spotlight for the role it might play in managing early-stage prostate cancer.
Okay, here's the headline finding from that study. You had 5 patients who were on active surveillance for their early-stage prostate cancer. After just 6 months on a low dose of luteolin, 2 of them showed a favorable response. Now, for a small, early trial, a signal like that, well, that's pretty significant.
But this is the result that really turned heads. In one of those patients, a cancerous lesion completely disappeared. To see that kind of regression from a low-dose natural compound, wow, that's not just interesting, it's truly remarkable.
So, you're probably wondering, how is it even supposed to work? Well, the researchers are proposing this 3-step mechanism. First, it looks like luteolin suppresses androgen receptors, which are known to fuel this kind of cancer growth. Second, it ramps up the levels of specific molecules that act like tumor suppressors. And third, you put those two together, and the thinking is that it inhibits the cancer's progression.
Now, to put that into perspective, just look at this comparison. Luteolin seems to be targeting the very same pathway as a leading cancer drug, enzalutamide. But, and this is a huge but, in this small study, luteolin did it with 0 reported adverse side effects.
And the research doesn't stop at prostate cancer. Scientists are also exploring luteolin's potential for gastric cancer. Now, it is absolutely crucial to point out that we're shifting gears here. This evidence is preclinical, which means it's all from lab studies, not human trials yet.
To get this next part, we need to talk about something called Notch1 signaling. The absolute simplest way to think about it is like a growth switch inside our cells. In a lot of cancers, this switch can get stuck in the on position, and that's what drives the uncontrolled growth and spread.
And the data really shows this clearly. Studies have found that patients who naturally have lower levels of this growth switch activity have around a 40% lower risk of their gastric cancer progressing. So the link is clear. You turn down the switch, you lower the risk of progression.
And this is where luteolin comes back into the picture. In those lab studies I mentioned, luteolin showed this powerful ability to seriously reduce that Notch1 signaling. It's basically helping to turn that growth switch down, which is exactly why there's so much excitement around its potential for gastric cancer. But the story is bigger than just cancer research. Luteolin is what's known as a systemic compound. What that means is its benefits seem to be really broad, affecting multiple systems all throughout the body. And yeah, when you look beyond cancer, population studies are linking luteolin to a whole host of benefits. We're talking about things like lowering body-wide inflammation, fighting insulin resistance, improving cholesterol, and even supporting the health of our heart, liver, and our gut microbiome. It's pretty amazing.
And this isn't just theory, right? We have actual population data. For example, in one study of patients with type 2 diabetes, getting more luteolin in their diet was linked to a whopping 22.6% reduction in cardiac mortality and a 7% reduction in dying from any cause. Those are some really meaningful numbers.
All right, so let's pull all this together. What's the bottom line here? Let's break down exactly where the science stands and, what this all might mean for you. Okay, so this is probably the most important point to get straight. We have to understand the different levels of evidence. For prostate cancer, we have some very compelling, but also very early data from a human pilot study. For gastric cancer, the evidence is definitely promising, but it's still in that preclinical or lab phase. That distinction is absolutely key.
And that brings us to, without a doubt, the most important slide in this entire explainer. I really need you to hear this loud and clear. This information is for educational purposes only.
It is not, and I repeat, not medical advice. The whole point here is to give you knowledge so you can have smarter, more informed conversations with your doctor. Never, ever make changes to your health plan without talking to them first.
So let's leave it with this final thought. The research is still early, of course, but it really points to this powerful idea that nature might already hold some of the keys to our most complex diseases. It's a fascinating question, and you can bet we'll be keeping a very close eye on this. Thanks for diving in with me today.